And Canada, there's international agreements that we've signed, like the Convention on Biological Diversity, in which we pledge to protect species at risk. And yet here we have one of the most at-risk species in the country, the most at-risk species in the country, and we can't protect it. And this year, in 2000, and well, just the year that just passed, in 2003 and coming into 2004, the government struck a recovery team for the spotted owl. But in the meantime, they've already done studies and they know the very precarious state of the spotted owl. But in the meantime, they continue to cut in one of the few areas that are remaining for spotted owls. And you have nesting sites and you have foraging sites. And the government is allowing timber companies and their own small business program to come in and cut these sites. And it's, I mean, you can nearly laugh if it weren't so sad. For many, many, many years, Canada had no federal endangered species legislation. Just recently this year we enacted some, but the problem is it's very, very weak. And for instance, in British Columbia, which provincially has no endangered species legislation, it only applies to 1% of the land base. And so we have a situation where the province is in charge of the welfare and the well-being of the spotted owl. And at the same time, the province, through their small business timber program, is a #1 logger of spotted owl habitat. And we have an owl that, according to the government's own scientists, will probably be extinct or extirpated in Canada within 5 years because of continued logging in its habitat.
We are here standing in the middle of the former home of the most endangered species of animal in Canada, the spotted owl. The government of British Columbia is responsible for cutting down the home of perhaps the northernmost pair of spotted owls in the world, right here, only a few short months ago. And what they did here is they killed off a pair of spotted owls. We just tried calling for them. They appear to be dead.
The government actually says that you can cut habitat to maintain or enhance. All you need to do is take a look at some of the clear cuts that are in spotted owl habitat and realize that there's not an owl anywhere to be found because it can't survive, to realize how ludicrous that is. #1, we need to stop logging in spotted owl habitat, the habitat that's left. We need to have on the ground, scientifically valid, functional endangered species recovery plans.
This forest is being logged under Ministry of Forest permit. It's one of the 11 sites, which is pretty shocking considered the spotted owl is about the most endangered species in the country. What's even more shocking is of the 11 sites, this year, 2003, we found logging in 6 of the 11 sites. All of it legal, all of it approved by the BC provincial government. It's pretty obvious to us that the BC provincial government is systematically pushing the species into extinction. And we're here to try and stop that. This piece of forest we're standing in has never been logged, and it's full of endangered species, including some of BC's most famous endangered species. This is one of the 11 spotted owl sites. It's the one site that hasn't been confirmed by provincial biologists. An independent biologist saw an owl, called in an owl, just up here, just up the hillside. And what the Ministry of Forest did with that information is, instead of sending up ministry biologists up the hill to see if the owl was there, they gave Cattermole a permit to come in here and cut down these trees.
Well, we've seen what happens with industry-led endangered species recovery plans. In the province of British Columbia, we have over 1,000 species at risk. And we're going to lose the spotted owl. We're going to lose the woodland caribou. We're going to lose the Vancouver Island marmot unless we wake up and start doing things differently.
The only thing that we can do to save the spotted owl in British Columbia is to protect its habitat. And the federal government has told us to, and the provincial government is waffling on it. And there is about 700,000 or 800,000 hectares of potentially suitable old-growth forest left. Just a tiny, tiny fraction of what was here historically. And that all needs to be protected, and it needs to be protected immediately.